Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Module 1 of this masterclass. How important it is for a person if you are looking to become a high performance individual or an infinite performance kind of person, that the first thing that you work on is your mindset. Now, research shows that 80% of your time when you are thinking from a high performance point of view, 80% of the time should be spent on the mental, on your mindset, and only 20% of the time should be spent on actually doing something. The world of sports understands this principle very, very well. So before a boxer goes into a ring, they already understand from their training and preparation point of view that 80% about that fight is about their mental state. So they do a lot of training and a lot of work on that first. Then they understand that 20% is really about getting their body in shape, doing a bit of tactics so that they're physically ready. But that 80% of the mindset is so crucial. And I like us to use that as a basis as we go through our lives and we are trying to now become these high performance individuals, that 80% of the work should be spent on your mindset. And this principle also spans across even organizations, or if you own a small business and you're wanting your team to win, you need to understand that 80% of the time should really be spent on the preparation, scaling your goals, and then also the mental state of your team. Then the 20% is just about the acting and actually doing the work. So those foundations are really, really critical. Now, let's start with the principle of pre-work. Imagine that you have the latest Ferrari at your disposal and you want to make sure that you use it to its maximum. But the problem is that you don't know how to drive the car. Will the Ferrari then be of any use to you? And the answer is no. And that's the same principle that you should be applying to yourself, to your soul, to your body. In order for you to get yourself to a peak performance, to use yourself to full capacity, you first need to understand yourself and know how you work and know what your keys are and know what your gifts are and know where your weaknesses are so that you work on getting better. Once you've mastered yourself and you understand yourself, then you can definitely mix yourself up to high performance. You can then get into the game of life and know that you're going to be performing at the most optimal pace that you can. All right. Now, this principle of pre-work is pretty much standard even in the sports world. If you're going to run a marathon, you first spend an enormous amount of time preparing for the big race. You eat right, you get mentally strong, you practice running the marathon routes on how you get there. You will never run a marathon race without completing your pre-work first. This allows you to be prepared for the actual marathon when you have to go into it. So do the pre-work, continually explore new tactics to make more agile and work on your weaknesses so that when the real race of life comes up, you're physically and mentally strong to take it on. That work starts with understanding your purpose, understanding your gifts, and sharing it with the world. This principle also spins around the spiritual world as well, if you want to call it. Monks spend enormous amount of time going deep inside themselves to master their physical bodies and their spiritual and their mental ability. In the Bible as well, we see numerous occasions where Jesus, you can see he's getting ready and he's preparing for the big day of his crucifixion. He also masters his body in other ways, with such things as fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. So the message is quite clear from different realms of life as well as from what data tells us. Preparation and pre-work and working on yourself is key as the first step. Thank you.